Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the new addition, which is a new Super Troop. After talking yesterday about the new levels which are coming to Clash of Clans, which means the troop levels which we had, which were Wizard, Giant and the P.E.K.K.A, and the new building levels, which were like the Army Camp, the Archer Tower and the Tesla, we now have a new Super Troop coming to the game as well. Yesterday we talked a couple of quality of life changes and I guys saw your comments. All of them, I think all of you guys agreed that the removal of the cooldown for the Super Troops is one of the nicest things which happened as a quality of life change in the long freaking time. So I'm super excited about that as well as you guys are. And today we have a new Super Troop which we can choose in the future. I will show you guys in this video on how you can actually use this Super Troop in an army composition. I will show you guys all of the stats and everything around that. But I want to give you guys one quick reminder because next week there's going to be the qualifier. A lot of you guys, or a couple of you guys more like in the comments said like, okay, Itsu, why do you have this advantage of being able to like test all of those things already? And the answer of this is pretty simple because I'm actually not. Those are just clips from other YouTubers who are recording those sneak peeks, and I'm just allowed to talk over them. It's basically like a reaction of me talking over a sneak peek, which I just like be able to cut together the gameplay. That's kind of it. So it's like not really an advantage at all if I just want to be able to upload those sneak peeks. That's pretty much it. But now let's talk about the Super Valkyrie because that's the main topic of this video. We can see her stats. A lot of hit points, but as well a lot of housing space, 20 overall. But now you guys might think, okay, maybe that's not really worth it. Should we actually use that? Well, we can see in her ability that she has a lot of potential, so it might be worth it. So how the Super Valkyrie works, she not only has obviously the more hit points and the more housing space and the more damage obviously than a normal Valkyrie, but her ability is as soon as she's dying, she's dropping a small rage. That's kinda nuts because rages are one of the most important spells in the entire game. You're relying most of the time on really nicely placed rage spells to empower your army composition and give the army like this little bit more of power in the core of the base. So now you don't need them anymore. Now you have the Super Valkyries as long as you can kinda time it where they're dying. The next thing is which I would like to add is if you guys are thinking like, hey, the Super Valkyrie might be a little weak because was 20 housing space, I'm saying a Super Valkyrie which has 18 housing space would be weaker. Yep, that's true. And if you guys are now wondering, it's what the hell are you talking about? Well, the reasoning behind that is a spring trap can spring the amount of housing space of 18. That's it. So the problem with this is kinda that there's no counterplay. For example, if you guys remember back then in P.E.K.K.A Smash, the only counterplay to P.E.K.K.A Smash were stacking black mines in a certain entry to get rid of those healers. Well, as soon as Yeti Smash came in, the counterplay was to stack spring traps against them, so the Yetis would just fly away. So if you're running into a baited entry with Yeti Smash, you have basically no chance. But that's always a good prediction by the base builder, so you have counterplay as the base builder. The problem with the Super Valkyrie is that the 20 housing space Super Valkyrie is not that easy to get spring trapped away, or overall it just does not work. So that's something which is, well, there's not too much counterplay for that. The next thing is most of the recent changes, for example to the Warbreakers, made it that Warbreakers are way stronger now again. Which basically means that you can always get your troops into the base and you don't need your Super Warbreakers anymore. So that's kind of key because 6 Warbreakers will get you through any base. And we'll see that later on as well, where you just like overpower a multi-inferno tower pretty easily and you can just warbreak without even needing a freeze. So that's pretty impressive. But now let's get back to this attack because this attack is really impressive as well because this is a pretty common meta base, I would call it. You have this multi-inferno tower which is right now against most of those witch attacks and you have 2 single inferno towers which are trying to cover against queen charges. But with this setup and still having a multi-inferno tower on the back end, the bats are just overpowering it. Because you don't need any rages for your army composition. You guys saw in the beginning was like 1 lightning, 1 earthquake, and then just hell a lot of bad spells and a couple of freezes. and you don't need any rages, and that's pretty crazy considering that rage is one of the, or like was one of the most dominant spells in Clash of Clans. With this recent addition of the Super Valkyrie, I can see that rages are getting less important, especially on like smash attacks, if it's like Yeti Smash, P.E.K.K.A Smash, Super Valkyrie Smash, I don't know on how to name all of those, but still, if it's on one of those, Super Valkyries are going to take over in my opinion. They're just insanely strong, and you guys saw it over here, it's pretty crazy. So after seeing this attack, you guys might think, okay, it's completely broken, but let's take a look at the next attack. And obviously, we have overall 3 attacks. I would try to guide you through that and explain a bit more about how exactly those attacks are working. This one is once again the same army composition, and yeah, that's just how the army looks like. So let's take a look at how, like, what the attacker is doing again. So first off, he's using the lightning, and then he's using the earthquake, so to get his royal champion, kinda to get rid of the multi-inferno tower, because this base has 3 multi-inferno towers and he's attacking with bats. That's something which no one would normally do, because bats are normally good against single targets, inferno towers and single target damage buildings, but against multis, I don't know, not their best shot at actually winning a battle. But still, he's trying that, and let's see how good this is going to work. Now the wall breakers, that's what I'm talking about. The wall breakers are only reaching the wall, and with reaching that wall, it's kind of the key, because this means the wall is open, you don't need any freezes, you don't need a super wall breaker, and that's pretty much it. Yes, of course, it's kind of expensive compared to a super wall breaker, but considering that you have to invest 12 housing space to get there, it's not that much, to be honest. So now the Yeti Smash is getting in there. The air defense is kind of melting his healers, and I think the key on how to master those attacks is going to be the deployment order of the troops, the timing of the warden ability, considering that you need your Valkyries to die to get the rage effect. So it's kind of the optimal point where you want to drop the, or like where you want to activate the warden ability, where it's like one Valkyrie died and then you're activating the warden ability. That's pretty crazy. Now he's using the bad wave to get the wizard tower out of the way. I personally don't like the bad wave, so I think that's not the best thing to use. Now the freeze onto the multi, freeze onto the wizard tower with the ice golem, and now you guys can see that bats are still struggling against multi-inferno towers. Obviously, you have to invest too many freezes at some point, and this is why the bats are dying out. But still, because you have Valkyries and healers, it's like they can't really die that easily. So that's pretty crazy, the power-wise. But now, one more thing, because everyone is going crazy, because I will ask you in a second what's your opinion on the new Super Valkyrie, is obviously in all of those sneak peek videos, we only show 3 stars. Like, there are only 3 stars shown. And you never know on how many tries the attacker actually needed to get this 3-star in. So that's something which is pretty important to note, because when I see those clips the first time when I recorded the German video, I was like, what the freaking hell? I just hope that someone tested this Super Valkyrie, because it looks so freaking broken. I don't want to see like 10 Super Valkyrie attacks out of 10 possible attacks in the next qualifier in every single war. That would be pretty boring. And right now, that's what it looks like, to be honest. But I just hope, I have the hope that someone was able to test that. And I don't know. I still hope that there's maybe going to be, I don't know, maybe, like I said, the new Springtrap level, maybe that's a thing. Maybe adding another Springtrap level would be able and like make Super Valkyries less powerful, because you have the counterplay space builder. But right now, that looks pretty crazy, to be honest. But either way, now I want you guys to I want to ask you guys, what do you think? Do you guys think the Super Valkyrie is OP, or like, do you like the concept of the Super Valkyrie? Because I think the concept looks really interesting. I think it's really it's pretty original. Obviously, there was like the Clash Royale troop where the rage is dropped, but still, there was nothing close to this in any like in Clash of Clans so far. So that's pretty interesting to me, and like this mechanic is pretty cool. So that's what I like to see. But I don't know yet if it's actually too powerful or whatever. So let me guys know what you think. And this time we have an attack which is not getting used with any bad spell combination. But still, the power of the Super Valkyrie, what this is like being able to make with you, is that you have so much power when it comes down to the spells, because you have so much more spells overall. And once again, you can just use the wall breakers kinda to make sure that they're reaching the wall and just opening the town hall the inventory compartment no matter what. But now one thing which I want you guys to notice, and I think this is, like I said, kind of the key on mastering this attack, is how this guy is dropping the Yeti and the Super Valkyries. I think it's not good to activate or actually drop the Yetis first, because you normally want to guard them or like guide them into the core, make sure that they can activate or like take the damage in the core, so the Yeti mites are getting empowered in the core and getting a lot of value over there. Over here, the Yeti mites died like right away in the beginning, and I don't think it's the best or like the optimal way. But still, Super Valkyries in the end, like with the rage combination, are just powering through, and the Queen is still alive as well. So even though it was a pretty messy attack, I have to say, still, it's in the end enough power, and like I said, you don't lose any Super Valkyries to Spring Traps. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, either way, let me guys know what you think in the, about the Super Valkyries in the comments. Let me guys know, would you guys use them? Would you guys still like to use, or like, what's your favorite super troop in the moment? And would you guys use the Super Valkyries, or do you think, no, they're not that great? Let me guys know what you think. That's it from me. I hope I see you guys back tomorrow for maybe the next sneak peek maybe. But yeah, until then, see ya guys, and bye bye.